So I recently rode this motorcycle, a Honda Varadero 125XL, through 5 countries, 4,000 miles, and I thought I'd share some of my tips and tricks for touring. So if you're thinking about going, hopefully this video will help you out, it'll be informative. We're going to start off first with the screen. Now the screen is a very important and overlooked bit of kit. The screen is going to protect you mostly from wind and other elements such as rain. The great thing about a screen is it will take the wind noise away from your helmet and elevate it over, reducing the overall wind noise in your helmet and just making you less fatigued over time. Also, it will take the buffeting away from your head. You'll find with this screen, because it sort of protects your upper chest as it's not too tall, the wind will come up the screen and buff it onto your helmet, will cause a bit of knocking like this if it's really windy. Now, for short durations, this is fine, but when it comes to a sort of long duration at highway speeds, you'll find it really fatigues you having your head been whipped back and forward. So to reduce that, what we're going to do is increase the screen. You can keep it stock. I mean, I rode, for example, 350 miles one day with just this screen, doing about 250 of just motorway. It's bearable, but let's move on to our next piece. And what can you do to help with the wind noise? Alright, so moving on to our next piece, we've got a bag here of earplugs. Now you can pick these up for around £5 to £6 and they're a lifesaver for touring. These are basically disposable ones, so as soon as a pair's got a bit manky, a bit wet, you can chuck them away. Now earplugs, what they're going to do is going to sit just inside your ear, squished in. You won't really notice them too much, but they're great at reducing the overall wind and exhaust noise. They make riding a lot more bearable, really increase your concentration, and they just dampen the sound slightly, especially for the high-pitched notes, which can really hurt your eardrums over time. So you actually improve your hearing over a long time compared to not wearing them, but also they'll make you feel a lot more rested and not feel as exhausted when you're finished up riding. A great investment. I really recommend them wearing these. Probably one of the most overlooked bit of kits for touring overall, in my opinion. Alright, so now we're coming on down to the tyres. Now for touring, you're not wanting to get the softest compound, sportiest slick. You're looking for a tyre that's going to last a long duration, provide you good grip, and really be good at water dispersion as well. These tyres, for example, although they may look good, in my experience, these are the worst tyres I've ever ridden on. The grooves in them, just no grip in the dry, no grip in the wet, disastrous. But what they're really good at doing is long lasting. For example, this front tyre, I believe it lasted about 9,000 miles to start off with. It has been replaced on the original bike since. However, what you're looking for in a tyre is a hard compound in the centre. The hard compound of rubber is going to last a lot longer, meaning if you're doing straight up motorway miles, it's not going to be wearing away as fast as, say, a soft compound, which you typically find on the sides of the tyre. A great type of tyre to go for is a dual compound, which will provide a soft, slick edge, which when warm will grip very well when cornering, but also allow you to have a long duration of motorway miles with the hard compound in the centre. A lot of companies make these tyres, for example Pirelli, Bridgestone. Have a look out there, have a look at some forums, see what works with your bike. Every bike's different. Some bikes respond well to different types of tyres. It's really just seeing what other people think and going with which best option for you. Another great addition for touring is definitely the centre stand. It makes maintenance a lot easier on the bike. It lifts that rear wheel up, which allows you to do chain tightening, cleaning, lubricating and taking the rear wheel off a lot easier, but also props the bike up and makes it nice and central, which is great for doing oil changes and other little bits of maintenance here and there. It also provides a lot of grip on different types of surfaces. So overall, a great investment, makes maintenance a lot easier and also can help in some parking conditions. Alright, so now we're going to move on to charging electronics. Now, if you're staying, for example, in a hotel or hostel, you can pretty much get away with this one, but if you are camping, it's a great idea to have. So what I've got down here is the battery. If you can see down here, it just plugs in, and what it is a USB to battery charger. And so it allows you to plug in your USB device and charge it with the bike's battery whilst you're riding along. Now I have this underneath the actual compartment itself of the seat, just to keep it nice and safe and waterproof and out of the way. So another important consideration is definitely your seating. Now this seat on the Honda Varadero stock is great. It's really nice and jelly sort of feel, really nice and comfortable for long journeys. you're going to look at something that's nice and soft and provides a lot of cushioning, as well as an upright seating position for your lower back to keep it nice and stable. Seating position, good duration. So for luggage, this is what I did, however you can mould it to your own design. I chose to put my camping equipment on the rear pillion seat portion of the actual seat itself. Now this is because it just took up a lot of space and it wasn't space I was using, and what I did to strap it down is use the following. So a great investment for about £5 or £6 is one of these. It's called a cargo net, and what you can do is you can strap it to the fairings of the actual bike itself, and it will strap down any parcels or packages you've got on the rear of the bike. You can also apply some rope as well. For example, I applied these bits here, these straps to the bike to keep everything held down, and you can use the cargo nets over the top and screw it down on each side to hold everything down nice in place. The reason I choose to not use any side panniers is you'll find, especially with slower bikes, it will really affect the handling and control at high speeds. It will also affect the top speed as well. If you think about this bike, it needs every little bit of aerodynamic it can get. So that's why I put all my luggage on the rear of the bike in the middle to make sure it was nice and aerodynamic for the wind to flow and allow me to sit at a comfortable 65-ish mph cruising speed. So a great but not essential piece of kit is this, a top box. It will help keep everything safe, waterproof, and just make sure it's nice and neat and well kept. This one uses a key like so. We open it up using the rear just here, and it opens up. So this is a great place to put all of your bits which you won't need to use until you stop off, such as clothes, accessories, electronics, stuff like that. And you can pack it quite high, to be honest. It's great again just for keeping stuff safe in case it's going to be taken easily off the bike, and also nice and waterproof as well. Again, that comes down. It's also got a nice reflective stripe here so car drivers can see you, as well as fitting your country's brand of nation flag. I'd also recommend to get a wide set of bars. These will make handling a lot nicer, especially with the heavier bikes, but also allow you to sit in great comfort for long journeys and allow your journey to be a lot more comforting and enjoyable. So things I'd say you must have to take are definitely some oil for the bike to make sure you don't run out of oil. You don't want to be running out of the oil in a place you don't know, as that could potentially leave the engine going kaput. Also some chain lube as well. It's great for making sure that chain lasts nice and long and making sure the components inside are being well lubricated. Now for punctures. So you could alternatively carry a puncture repair kit. Now this basically involves poking into the tyre, filling it up with a plug, and then re-inflating the tyre back up. Now this is good for short duration. However, if you don't want to carry such a large kit, you can use tyre weld for motorbikes. It doesn't work on larger punctures, but on the small ones it still works well. So it's sort of a bit of a lifesaver if you were to have a puncture. Sod's law, everything can go on. Also, definitely be sure to take a large array of tools. You're going to find you'll need tools for every aspect of the bike. Use your manufacturer's toolkit and more. Make sure you've got tools to adjust that chain, because that is going to get loose at some point, but also other components such as the brake caliper to get it off, the wide bars, the brake actual levers themselves. Make sure you've got tools to cover all the bike to make sure you're nice and safe and the bike's being well maintained. So as far as storing your valuables, I would try and store, for example, your passport and cash and stuff like that inside your jacket. It will allow you to get it out much easier in case of being stopped or being searched by, for example, the police. And try not to put them at the bottom of the top box or underneath the seat of all the luggage, because it's going to make it a pain to get it out. So put your valuables and things you need all the time on yourself, or maybe in a little rucksack on you, or externally you can get a tank bag. Personally, I'm not a fan of these as it sort of gets in the way, but you can get a tank bag, read a map on top, or get a little GPS holder on the handlebars to read your position. So that's been my tips for touring, guys. I hope you enjoyed and you learned something. My best advice really, just do it. If something goes wrong, fix it. That's it really, just have fun, go and enjoy yourself, just do it. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have fun, ride safe, and thanks for watching.